All right, here's two questions that rely on your use of decimals or graphing calculator to determine the answers. Regular rise and fall of water level can be given day, depth, meters modeled by this function. Okay, so let's graph that function. So instead of the d there, I'm going to put a y. So y is equal to 2.35 sine of bracket 0.51 x instead of the t plus 4.11 bracket. I need another bracket there. Plus 13.13. So a couple things to watch is making sure that you have enough brackets there on that sine function. That 1313, the vertical displacement, it's got to be outside of the brackets. Okay, I can't see my thing, but my vertical displacement's 13, so it's got to be up a little bit. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. And then they say, what is the depth of harbor at 7 o'clock? So what is my zero time? On a given day, modeled by that function. Oh, in hours after midnight. So 7 a.m. would be 7 hours. This would be 7 hours after midnight. So what I want to do, and you can do this on in decimals on the graph, or you can do it mathematically. You could just take that 7 and plug it in right there and solve for it. So let's try. I'm just going to do it here in decimals. So what I can do is the 7 is a time, and so that's like an x value. So I'm just going to type in x equals 7. Okay, and right there it crosses. So 15.44. So that's the depth that it's going to be at 7 a.m. Now, just while we're here in math, in decimals, I can get to that. I got to get rid of the drawings here. Okay. Right in there for that x, I said you could put in a 7 there too. So I'm going to get rid of that, and in brackets I'll put a 7 right there. And notice that the answer comes out to the same thing, 15.44. Okay, let's try. Here's one that's very similar. Sun's angle elevation approximated by that, and so let's graph it. I don't know what this graph is that's doing on there now. Let's get rid of that and put in a new one. Okay, so instead of a, I'm going to put y is equal to negative 23.5 sine, and then 360 divided by 365. Okay, and then beside that I got to put a bracket. X plus 102 bracket. That ends my brackets, yep, plus 41. Okay, so it went up again. There's my graph right there. Okay, so then they say, what's the angular elevation on February 1st? That would be 32 days. So all I'm doing is taking that 32 and plugging in wherever I see an x. So again, you could do that mathematically, which I'll do in a second, or you can just find it on the graph. So I'm going to do that on the graph here. Right below there, I'm going to type x equals 32. Now, where did that go? I guess it's over at 32. There it is. And tap where those two things cross. So they cross at 35.9. So 35.9 is where they would cross. Again, you can do it with in decimals here. Right there where that x is, instead of putting the x there, I'm going to put in 32. And notice it gives you the same answer. All right, hopefully that helps you with those two questions. Good ones. Yep, there's some on the test today that are similar, at least one.